the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting.
What's the run? Hey, they're running.
Check, check, check. 13. 20 seconds.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
It's a party now. Kill.
Shotgun now for Breeze. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Breeze now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we come upon halftime, and what's it? We now proceed to the start of the second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've...
It got his man complete. Past the 20. 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 82 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score to second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But
and now here is another interception. Picked off by Eli Apple. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his... man room to run under it, but it's second. second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Breeze. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got him bracketed out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Sammy!
Breeze to throw again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll run on 1st down. Coleman. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
56 right there.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And my goodness, another interception. P.J. Williams with a pick. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Now a play fake. Breeze. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy? And what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
2 yards on the pickup.
From the 39, Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
5-9.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
5-1.
To throw is Breeze. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Nick Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, 52 yards. And the 49ers get a score closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
56. Bring it. Bring it.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth.
5-9.
On first down, Breeze. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
56. Mike, 56, right there, right there. 11. Watch the pass. Mike, 56. Mike, 56. Drop deep.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. The Saints on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And Genn's got it. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 67 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff position? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Eli Apple. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. So after the INT, it's Breeze. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Garoppolo, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo under pressure here, and down he goes. Sack back at about the 43-yard line. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Garoppolo looks to throw. Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage.
Here we go.
But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He was with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talking about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
He'll let it fly in the direction again, and nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
It's now third down.
53.
On third down, here's Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 20.